Hey guys, i-WearTec here again. Welcome back to our channel where we take cool stuff out of the box. So today we'll be unboxing and doing a short comparison between these two babies, the Realme Watch 2 and the Watch 2 Pro, which are the next generation of smartwatch after the Realme Watch released last year by Realme. Retailing at £49.99 GBP for the Realme Watch 2 and £69.99 for the Watch 2 Pro. Now let's get them out of the box and do a quick comparison and show you what they're all about. Now quickly looking at the boxes before we open them, we can have a look at the features and what they look like. Start with the Realme Watch 2. You'll see there's a big logo of Realme Watch 2 and the view of the smartwatch itself and how it will look. On the side you have some of the key features that it comes with. So it says 3.5 centimeters or 1.4 inch color touchscreen. It comes with 12 days of battery life, 90 sports mode in comparison to about the 16 sports mode that the original Realme Watch came at. Live watch faces, which means you can customize the watch faces, which you see on the watch. It comes with a blood oxygen and heart rate monitor built in, as well as smart AIoT control. It allows you to control your IoT devices from your wrist. Now the box is your typical bright yellow one. You can see the back, the model is the RMW2008. This particular item which we have for review is the black color, although I believe it's also available in white. And it comes with 305 milliamps battery. And there you go. So that's the first one. And coming up next is the Realme Watch 2 Pro. Comes with a completely different box. This is more of a vertical long box instead. You can see that it shows the whole end-to-end watch itself. And on the back it shows the key features. These are a slightly larger display, which is at 4.4 centimeters and 1.75 inches. Color display, a high precision dual satellite GPS, 90 sports mode as well, a 14-day battery life in this one. Also includes blood oxygen and heart rate monitor, and it has 100 plus stylish watch faces. Now the model number, as you can see, is the RMA2006, and this one that we're going to be opening up is the space gray color, although again it comes in various colors. And there you go. Let's get both of them out and see what they're like inside. Right, so let's start with the Watch 2 itself and see what we've got in the box. First up you have obviously the watch itself, which we'll put aside for a second. With this insert you get the typical Realme Watch 2 user guide as well as the warranty card. We'll take a look at that later on. Pop those back in, and inside, further side, you have the magnetic charging cable, right, which is charged by USB. And within the box of the Watch 2 Pro, you see immediately in a different setup, you have the watch at the top. Again, we should put it aside. And further inside the box, if you lift this, you get a complete different design. As you can see, the top little mini box inside shows the Realme Watch 2 Pro user guide. Slot it in there, close it down again, and if I pick this insert up, we have the USB power cable charged magnetically and wirelessly. There you go. That's all there is. Now let's actually switch on these babies and show you what they look like. Okay, so peeling this back, immediately we see the look of the Watch 2 itself, as you can see very quickly here. Go down, and peeling this one back, we see a noticeable difference in how this one feels. That's the Watch 2 Pro. Okay, so right up front you can see that both of the watches look pretty similar. They have the same strap and clasp sort of functionality and look. In the front here, on one of the straps, it says "Dare to Leap" across the top on both of them, which is clearly the emblem or anthem of Realme these days. Turning them, you got the rectangular screen on both of them, which represents a bit your typical elegant Apple Watch sort of look. And turning it back, they both again feel very similar. The back you have the sensors as well as the magnetic charging sensor to charge the battery. And if you turn it around, you will see that in summary both of them are pretty much similar in terms of the high level spec you get. They both come with a Bluetooth 5.0 to pair them with your favorite smartphones, whether it be a Realme smartphone or any other Android smartphone, or I believe even an iOS smartphone. They have come up with a proprietary OS, so these are not based on Google's Wear OS sort of operating system, neither obviously the Apple one. Both come with Corning Gorilla Glass protection to ensure that your screen doesn't get scratched. What is noticeably different from right up front is the screen size. So the Watch 2 itself comes with a 1.4 inch display, whereas the Watch 2 Pro comes with a slightly larger 1.75 inch display. So you can see that quite clearly when you put them across each other. This one is slightly larger with a much smaller bezel. So you can clearly see from when you put them side by side that the Watch 2 Pro has a slightly larger screen, which is very much noticeable, as you can see here, and it's got a much smaller bezel, which is much thinner than this one, which looks very thick and therefore seems a bit more cheaper. Now let's switch them on and see what they look like. Now what was very noticeable up front was that it took a lot longer for the Watch 2 to boot up than the Watch 2 Pro. So probably down to the RAM or the memory within the onboard computer itself. Well, let's get them set up now. So click that, and it quickly says scan to bind, which means this is the way I would pair it with my smartphone. Right, let's get them both set up and bound. There we go. Right, and clicking on the link that I got, it takes me straight to the realme.com website and asks me to download the Realme Link app. So let's do that and come back again. And we've got downloaded. Let's go inside now. United Kingdom. Allow, got it. And this will allow us to now add the device. So we're on the Realme Link app. I suppose you click on this and you can see immediately that both watches have been picked up through the proper Bluetooth connection. You've got the Realme Watch and the Watch 2 Pro. Let's get the first one set up and see what happens. So this is the Realme Watch, I believe, connecting. It reads the phone binding request, as you can see. So click yes, so now it's binding. And on the phone, I'm getting the Bluetooth pairing for the Watch 2. Pair up, yes, and get started. Select this, select whatever height, doesn't really matter. Kilos, I think it's a bit lighter than I am, but anyway. Set my goal for steps. It should be, I think, at least 10,000 steps a day. Agree to legal information. And then it's asking for permissions. For call reminders, yes, I think it would be good to get call reminders via this smartwatch. Notifications such as SMS and music playback control. Yep, that's good. Turn on permissions from the Realme Link app. Allow notifications, allow, come out again, allow, yes, make phone calls, call logs, there you go. So now it's syncing up, and slowly, surely you now got the current time and date on the watch, and we can start playing with that later. Now let's get the Watch 2 set up as well. or the Watch 2 Pro, I should say. Click that and get that connected. Agree to the phone binding request. Yep. Getting it bound. Yep. Get started. And you can see immediately that it is now syncing. So up front you can see here, if you go down, you get probably this very similar options. You got activity tracking, heart rate, SpO2 monitoring, sleep tracking, workout records, alarms, weather, stopwatch, timer, music control, camera. So you can basically obviously remote into your camera from your smartphone and get that activated. One of your selfies, perhaps. Breathe, so it means breathing exercises. Find my phone, so it's very handy if you lose your phone. This will help sort of via Bluetooth sound an alarm and be able to locate your smartphone in the Realme Link app settings and the overall settings of the phone. So that's scrolling up or down. If you then go back right, you go back to the main screen. You scroll right, you see some key settings here, which are the brightness of the screen, the battery, your wrist action, activating the watch itself. It seems though the Watch 2 Pro has a torch, whereas the Watch 2 does not. And then you have the settings. This is probably to put on do not disturb, so that's the same thing here. Back again here. If you now scroll left, you see now here you can track and see your activity, so how many steps you've taken, how many calories, how many minutes you have walked or run, and how many hours in this sort of graphical mode. And then if you go further right, you can see you're now tracking either your heart rate, in this case in the Watch 2 Pro, the sleep mode, your beats per minute. If you put this on your wrist, we'll try that later. And then you'll see as well the weather, the music you can track and activate from your smartwatch based on the music on your phone. And finally, that's it. If we now go scroll, you'll see the notifications. So if I had any notifications that were coming on my phone, it would come flash on my smartwatch. Again, for ease of use, so you don't have to keep looking at your smartphone every time you get a call or SMS or a WhatsApp notification. And I think that's pretty much it in terms of the initial settings on and display options on the screen. One more thing is if you double click here and keep it pressed, it will bring you the watch face, and then just through your right left action you can choose the different watch faces which are inbuilt into the smartwatch itself, which is quite limited, probably about 6 of them as I can see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them actually. So you can quickly click on one of those and then load those ones. As you can see, the Watch 2 Pro is a lot quicker in terms of changing the face as well, but got there in the end with the Watch 2 as well. Now, although there's a limited number of watch faces within the watch itself, and there's options, I understand that in the Realme Link app, you have a lot more that you can choose from. As you can see here in the face gallery, you have tons there to choose from. There's all these featured ones, which are everything from Star Trek to Gemini, or even a billiards one, to some digital funky ones, which are quite plentiful. You got some mechanical watch ones to make your watch look richer, perhaps. A classic one, green ruby, which you might want to fake and say you have a Rolex, perhaps. You've got some creative ones, which are quite cool as well. Efficiency ones, into the category there, which resemble more your sporty ones. You've got the pointer ones, which are the more classic look, based on a classic watch rather than a digital watch. And then you have other ones which are from Realme's collaboration with the Graflex artist, as well as, for example, you're able to sort of select a photo there from your phone and sync it to your watch, and then show a picture of yourself or somebody or a family member. So plenty there. If we now go back to the app itself, you can see that there's various things you can do. You can see the percentage of the watch battery. You can see the activity today. So this tracks if you had done activity, which I haven't done clearly, on the date, on the week, on the month, or the year, what sort of activities you've performed in terms of steps, or calories, or duration burnt. And you have the various things in terms of workout. If you click here, you can see the average sessions per week, or sessions or calories, the sleep patterns, the SpO2 data, or the heart rate. So that's where you go in terms of the Watch 2 Pro. And the Watch 2, again, has a similar UI in terms of what it offers within the Realme Link app. So very nicely configurable. And in this case, because we have tracked the heart rate, you can see that it's already showing the 84 BPM heart rate. You can also see the different heart rate zones, the threshold, the aerobic heart rate, how much fat you may have burnt, which is great. Your resting heart rate, and if you go on the SpO2 monitor, which we'll use later on, we can track that as well and really see how you're performing versus what you should be based on your health and your age. But let's put that aside now and talk about the detailed specifications. So, right, in terms of showing you how the heart rate monitoring works, if you click here, heart rate, now you can see it is slowly but surely trying to pick my heart rate, and that says very quickly, immediately says I am at 86 beats per minute is my heart rate. Now, as you can see, it's continuously changing, which means it's continuously tracking my heart rate. And you can see here at the bar graph, how I'm performing, and also very quickly you can see my highest heart rate is 85 beats per minute, and the lowest is about somewhere 80. So that's your heart rate monitor, which I find pretty decent and quick. I don't know about accuracy, and I can't test for that, but according to Realme, it is medical grade, and therefore should be pretty good. In terms of your SpO2 or blood oxygen monitoring, again, let's click that. See how that works. Wear your watch clung to skin and keep your wrist still. So let me do that. Press play. It's clung to my skin, and I'm going to keep it as still as I can. And let's see how long that takes to measure. You can see the progress of that circle. And I best be quiet so that I can track my SpO2 adequately. Measuring. Nearly there. And supposedly that's where it's end. So that is showing a 99% SpO2 rate, which I think means I'm pretty healthy. In terms of workouts, you can see here all the various different sports you can actually track. For example, outdoor run, outdoor walk, outdoor cycle, strength training, football, basketball, cricket. And I will quickly test that. You can see that given this is a Watch 2 Pro, it is connected to the GPS, ready to start your outdoor run. 3, 2, 1, and off I go. Right, and now you can check your pace, your distance, your duration, average cadence, calories, etc. And of course, within the app, you'll be able to see where you went and the duration, given it's called GPS. Now let's stop that. You can take a picture remotely using your smartwatch without having to carry your smartphone with you. For example, a selfie or any picture. Click that and you can see there it's taking a picture. If you go back out again, the other things that you might want to bear in mind, it's got some breathing exercises you can do. If you click that for a minute, it will help you de-stress by doing some sort of exercises where you inhale, exhale, and that will help you de-stress. Some breathing exercises, yoga style. This will be your Find My Phone feature. So you can't find your phone, it rings your phone immediately there and tells you your Realme Watch 2 Pro is finding your phone. Confirm. That's quite handy. The Realme Link app here allows you to add your device, which we've already done that. And finally, you've got settings, which allows you to change the watch face, the display brightness, screen timeout, the raise to wake function, allow you to change your notifications for sedentary. So if you're sitting around for too long and you want to be reminded to stand up, to let you know whether you've achieved your goal, to remind you to drink some water or to do the breathing exercises, that's something you can set up here as well. And you can check the battery levels and change the modes for something more power saving perhaps.
Now let's focus on a detailed spec comparison head to head between the Watch 2 and the Watch 2 Pro. Starting off with the screen, with the Watch 2 you get a 1.4 inch display of IPS LCD, whereas the Watch 2 Pro comes with a 1.75 inch display or 4.4 centimeters, therefore larger. In terms of width of the Watch 2, it comes at 1.02 inches, whereas the width of the Watch 2 Pro is slightly smaller at 0.99 inches. From a thickness point of view, the Watch 2 comes at 0.48 inches, whereas the thickness of the Watch 2 Pro, therefore a bit chunkier, comes at 0.5 inches. Finally, in terms of weight, you get 38 grams in the Watch 2, whereas the Watch 2 Pro weighs 40 grams, slightly heavier. In terms of the battery, the Watch 2 comes with a 12-day battery life, given its 315 milliamps battery. It comes with wireless charging, whereas the Watch 2 Pro comes with an extended 14-day battery life, given its 390 milliamps battery, which lets you use your watch for about 2 weeks without having to charge it at all. Now that's pretty impressive. Coming back to the Watch 2, it does not come with any GPS. Therefore, if you want to go out for a run or cycle or anything of that sort and want to track your route, etc., you will need to take your mobile phone with you. Whereas the Watch 2 Pro comes with a high precision dual satellite GPS, so that runners can track the route information, precise stats, and activity monitoring independently without needing to carry a smartphone with you. Now back to the Watch 2, you get a screen to body ratio of 68.6% due to the large bezel that comes with the watch, whereas the Watch 2 Pro comes with an impressive 99.1% screen to body ratio, given its very small bezel and large screen. Resolution wise, the Watch 2 comes with a resolution of 320 by 320, whereas the Watch 2 Pro has a larger resolution of 320 by 385. And finally, the PPI density of the Watch 2 comes slightly higher at 323, with the Watch 2 Pro coming at 286.
All in all, I think these are both pretty decent smartwatches for the price you pay. Yes, they are probably basic. They don't have a operating system which is compatible with like Google Wear OS or the Apple iOS, Apple Watch Proprietary OS. This comes with a basic proprietary OS by Realme. But what you get for the price of £49.99 for the Watch 2 or £69.99 for the Watch 2 Pro are decent sports smartwatches which allow you to track your activity monitoring up to 90 sports modes. Both come with Bluetooth 5.0, which allow you to pair them with your smartphone and allow you to receive your notifications on your wrist without having to depend on your phone. Also, they come with inbuilt heart rate monitor, which is continuous and allows you to track the health of your heart. Very important these days. They both come with SpO2 or blood oxygen level monitoring as well, inbuilt, which we also showed you earlier. And of course, as you can see, they have a decent IPS LCD screen, and also are IP68 water resistant rated. So that's another great plus point. With customizable watch faces and the ability to control your IoT devices straight from your wrist again, right? So those are great features. If I were to choose which one to go for myself personally, I think for an extra 20 quid, I would go for the Watch 2 Pro for the following reasons. One, you get a bit of a larger battery and therefore it will obviously last longer for you while having the charge. you get a larger screen, which I think makes it look a bit more premium compared to the Watch 2. Into the size, I prefer the sort of chunkier watches. If you prefer maybe something a bit more sleeker, you might go for the Watch 2, but I prefer something a bit more chunkier, being a man. I also like the fact that this one includes inbuilt GPS, and therefore with that particular sensor in there, you can actually go out for a run or for a cycle or anywhere without having to carry your smartphone with you, and therefore independently track the route and the location and where you've gone as part of your run and the distance, for example. Whereas with Watch 2 itself, you would have to carry your smartphone with you everywhere. And finally, in terms of the look and feel, the design, I like the fact this has a much lower bezel or lesser bezel than the Watch 2, so I think it looks a bit more nicer as well. So there you go. Both are great smartwatches for the price you pay. Nothing to completely shout about. They're definitely an improvement over the original Realme watch. And again, if you prefer a rectangular look smartwatch and that Apple Watch appeal for a much lower price in comparison to the Realme Watch S or the Watch S Pro, which were circular in design, I think you wouldn't have much to complain about, right? So again, my thumbs up goes to the Watch 2 Pro, and I would buy that with my eyes shut. Now, we will, of course, do another full review of the smartwatch and let you know what we think once we've used it as part of a daily driver for the next 7 days and tell you what it's all about. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. Again, thank you so much for dropping by. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our content. Also, follow us on Twitter on the handle @i-WearTec. If you have any questions, put them down below here, and I'll try my best to get to them soon as I can. Also, if you have any comments, please add those too. Alright, see you at the next video. Peace, guys.